Good evening, everybody. My name is Bill Martin, and I have the honor of presenting to you Barbie McMillen, who's going to be interviewing our special guest this evening. And from that point on, Barbie, I hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Hello, and welcome everybody to the Dallas Songwriters Association Songwriter Spotlight. Tonight, our spotlight is on composer Thierry Coupey. Thierry is our 2022 Dallas Songwriters Song Contest Grand Prize winner. He won a PXS 1000 Privia piano, plus a Broadjam Primo MOB membership, recording time with Joe Music, a song critique from Moi, and 2 tickets to Between the Waves Music Conference. He is coming to you tonight all the way from Montreal, just north of Montreal, Canada. Let's give Thierry a big old Texas welcome. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are so excited to have you tonight. This is really wonderful. So I just can't wait to. I've heard your music recorded, and I can't wait to hear you play it live. And I can't believe the number of songs that you have composed throughout the years, which we're going to talk about later on. So, what have you got up for us first?
Well, first, I have the winning song. The winning original is called Redemption, in parentheses, the last words. It's a song that was born 2 years ago. My ex-boyfriend is a fan of Charlotte Cardin. She's a Quebec singer, very popular here. I think she's getting international as we speak. And her last album was so amazing in the way she put her vocals up front, everything. So it's very pure, very minimalist. It starts with a drum beat, sorry, very simple. And then a little keyboard with few notes. I think it's Rhodes, like a Kurzweil or something. And then she sings, and that's it. But I am a bad boy, and I like always to improve things with my way, you know. So I made a progression, a very subtle and then strong raise up, like Roy Elkins was, and I don't know if he's watching, but
Yes. He will be later, though. You know
yeah.
he'll tune back in on this. And in fact, after you play Redemption, I have his critique right here. I think I would like to read it for everybody so that they can understand what he loved so much about this song and what we all are going to love about it when we hear it
Sure.
tonight.
Yeah. So I don't talk anymore about redemption. It goes like this. So let me, because I have a background pre-recorded, so I can play the piano on top of it, so it sounds like a bit the original. And this is actually the music track of a song because we put lyrics on it in French, and it's a very beautiful song. Actually, Barbe, you commented on Facebook, I think. It talks about the resilience of human in front of the adversity and the disease, how strong we can be, and it's like a tribute to their courage. You know, it's called
Yes.
guerrier admirable, like wonderful warrior.
Mm.
So the music itself is called Redemption, and it sounds like this. Won't be long. Let's play. Okay, let's start. Thank you.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Very emotional. Somehow you managed to hit all the strings in the heart with your music. Let me tell everybody a little bit about our song contest. Thierry won all 3 positions, first, second, and third place in our category. He was a category winner in the instrumental, and then he won our grand prize. Now we have judges for each of the each of our categories, which we have 8 categories. So we have a separate judge for each of those categories, and then all of those songs go back into a pile and get sent to Roy, and he does not know which ones have won which place or honorable mention or first place or whatever. They all get another chance. And so then Roy gets them and listens to them, and then he picks out the first, second, and third grand prize winners. And along with that, he gives you a wonderful critique, which is great for the for your EPK, electronic press kit. And let me just read some of this for you, what Roy says about Redemption. And in parentheses, you call it the last waltz. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
the last words.
Yeah. So here's what Roy says. Easy, genius, humble, intellectual, and respectful is how I describe this piece. The song starts with a minimal drum beat in 6/8 time, and at 12 seconds a simple melody begins on a B note and on the 1 and easily plays to the 5th below every note of the measure. Then the rhythm is repeated beginning on the D, below playing a simple pattern. So for the most part, the rhythm is repeated throughout the entire piece, and one feels it building and building each time. By about 55 seconds, it comes to a sliding mechanical stop, and then repeats the rhythm pattern with another tasteful selection of notes. Some other effects are added in, and eventually a violin with a counter melody. Then the arrangement picks up a little steam at 1:35, and the listener feels that it's ready to take off at any moment. Beautiful arpeggiated strings enter at 2:11. The listener continues to wait for it to explode as it grows a little more. Then another mechanical stop, followed by sopranos that could have come directly from Carl Orff rehearsal of this session. It never does detonate like I thought it might be. And then he said, well, it was disappointing, but no, wait a minute, it was genius. Clearly, the writer has some training coupled with a natural talent, as I feel they could have taken this whole thing in a different place. But the magic of this piece is what they didn't play. And I've heard Sting say that too, that a lot of times the magic of a song is the silence in it. Sometimes we writers want to cram as much in as possible, but this is a patient writer who knows how to captivate with simplicity. Brilliant work, and I would love to hear more of him or her. Of course, he doesn't obviously know who the writer is because it's blind judging. Although this is not my favorite genre, it will be in my personal collection. Although the sound selection was brilliant, especially the sampled chorus, one could probably replace any of these sounds with any other sound, and it would still work, as the melody is so engaging. It's a high-quality melody, and why this song is one of the best in this competition. So that's Roy. That's high praise from Roy. It doesn't get any better than that. And your face is probably red, Thierry, because you're not used to all that praise, right? No, we can't take it. Us musicians, we can't take it.
It's not possible.
But it really is a wonderful song, and you include some of those tricks that you're using in this song in another one of your songs that also has the choral
Yes.
addition to it.
Yes.
Which one is that?
Uh,
I'm trying to think of
one
the
of
name.
the I'm going to play tonight. I
Yes, yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the ones you're going to play tonight. Trying to think of what the name of it was. I was listening
Well,
to
there is Listen to
them.
the Wares, the
Yeah,
next one, and
not
then
it's
there's
not that one.
no
It's
Zénitude,
it's not Annie. It's the other one.
then it's Zénitude or Passport
Yeah,
for the Sanctuary.
no, I think it's Zénitude.
Zénitude.
Yeah,
Yes,
because that
yes,
has
you're right.
choral
You're
in it too.
absolutely right,
Yeah,
Barb. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and that's another beautiful song. So uh, Broad Jam is neat, and I looked on Broad Jam. You have like almost 150 songs on Broad Jam. I
I
was
know.
blown away. I mean, you've been working a lot. You started there in 2012, so you've put a
Yeah.
lot of work into that and put a lot of stuff up. So you were talking about having just the track to this, but then it's also got a vocal version of it too. So are you doing this on Broad Jam where you're taking some of your vocal songs and putting them up, but then you're also taking the vocal songs and just doing an instrumental track so that you can shop it for film and television? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, but actually it's the other way around. It starts with the melody and the music track, and then if it's good enough, if I have enough criticism from friends, from family, and pro reviewers from Bojam as well, because they are doing pro review, and if the critics is good,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it's worth it to try to find some lyrics, and either in French or English.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but of course, English is not my preferred, my native language, so I
Mm-hmm.
go in French. But sometimes I find a very good lyricist on Bojam. So then we exchange services like this on Bojam. She gives me some lyrics, and then she or he depends. And then in exchange, I offer my writing skills.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. And
Yeah.
then so you've got with one song, you've got two different shots at shopping it for different places.
Yes, yeah. Usually that's what we do. If
Mm-hmm.
one piece is very interesting, then I chop it into different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So have you pitched a lot of things? You know, Broad Jam has their service.
Yeah, they
Were you?
offer a lot of opportunities.
Uh huh.
Oh, maybe 200 since
Oh
2012.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
Roughly,
Uh-huh.
maybe 200.
So later on, we're going to talk about something else that you've been doing with video. But we'll get to that when you play a little piece of that song, and we'll talk about that. So what you got for us next? What are you going to play next?
Well, next is about the wares.
Oh,
Yeah,
love that.
and I'm introducing to you the EWI, which it
You're going to pull out
means,
that sexy saxophone.
yes, EWI stands for Electronic Wind Instruments.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know if I'm allowed to name the brand. Is that allowed?
Sure.
Okay, it's Yamaha. My
Okay.
piano is Yamaha. My EWI is Yamaha. And actually, there is a reed because I'm an ex saxophone player. When I was in France, I was part of some jazz bands. First of all, it was a marching band with a clarinet, so it has a reed also. Okay,
Hmm.
and then I went to the saxophone, the baritone with a loop, a big one, and I joined a jazz band in France, and then because it was not belonging to me, I had to give it back to the
Had to give it back to the school.
yeah to the
Yeah.
school. You understood.
Darn.
Then I
Yeah.
migrated to Canada without
Mhm.
with only my clarinet, and I stopped playing. And now, when you play an acoustic instrument, your body becomes part of the instrument. It
It
changes the shape, and it you have some constraints, physical constraints. be it a violin, be it a saxophone, or a oboe, oboe, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the oboe. um, so here, with the reed and the lips above
Mm-hmm.
my teeth went back, and my lower lip got carved inside, and I lost that because I stopped playing. But now with this back, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Oh, it
I'm not
does.
used to
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
So did you lose your embouchure and then you had to work it back?
Yes, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
like you, I went to the dentist recently, Barbara, and my lip is
Oh.
still frozen a little bit. So
Oh.
yeah, maybe I'm going to be out of tune, so out of pitch sometimes, because this really controls also the vibrato and the pitch,
Uh-huh.
and the pressure
That's
of the
that's
breath also controls variation in the sound. And the sound, you don't see it maybe on this camera, but here, is it possible that you see it? No, eh?
well, your
No.
hand is kind of off the camera.
Yeah, it's
S-
a sound module, and you
Uh-huh.
can play any sound like
Yeah.
choir, violin, electric guitar, and here, for example, in Listen to the Wares, it's a sexy saxophone.
Right. So that's your main lead instrument then in that
Right.
for other wind things. So is the mouthpiece, is it exactly like a regular wood clarinet or is it different?
This one,
Yeah.
it's the fingering
No,
is
I mean the mouthpiece because we're
the
talking
mouth.
about
Yeah,
embouchure and trying
yes,
to,
yes.
make the sound with embouchure. Is it the same, the mouthpiece? Is it pretty much the same?
Look, there is
Looks like it is. Uh-huh.
you can see the reed,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it reacts to the pressure
Mm-hmm.
of the lips, like
Mm-hmm.
here.
So do you soak your reeds before you play them?
Well, this is a permanent reed. It's a plastic.
Oh, okay. So, another clarinet, it wouldn't be a permanent reed. It would be a
Oh,
wooden thing. You'd have to shave it down and soak it and
yeah.
make it just right. Yeah,
Yes.
I know that because I used to live with a saxophone player.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
he's passed away now, but yeah.
And same thing for oboe. Yeah, the reeds are
Hmm.
usable. You know, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, great. I just can't wait to hear you play that wonderful instrument there and
Yeah,
then
that's
hear some whales.
it's. I was disappointed because 2 weeks ago there is the G flat key here. It lost its spring.
Oh, no.
Yes, it lost its spring. So maybe I'm going to do wrong notes. And in this song, it starts in the key. The key signature is E flat major, and there is several modulations to G flat major
Mm.
with 6 flats at the key.
Yeah,
So
all
there
those
is a
black
lot of.
keys. A lot of black keys on the piano.
So okay, let's get it done. Let's
So
see.
you might can get that fixed after you move to France.
Well,
You get
maybe
that
I
spring
tried
replaced. You
an
can have it
elastic or
replaced.
something. It doesn't
Yeah.
work, but I'm going to do to the repair shop.
Yeah.
At Yamaha for sure. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, so let's start. Here are the wares. Thank you.
That was wonderful. I felt like that I was underwater that entire time, floating, floating, and floating with the whales. I was in a whale pod. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Super. And so the full title of that song is Listen to the Whales.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So you're talking about moving back to France and where you were born. And you're up there almost to you're way up in northern France you're moving back to, right? By the Netherlands, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it's actually close to the Belgium border,
Mhm.
not very far from the shore of the La Manche, the Northern Sea,
Mhm.
separating the Great Britain to France.
Right. So you're not far from Calais. You're also not too far from Paris, and so too London would be not too far for you to go as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So will you do your shopping in Paris or
Oh no, it's too
no?
far away.
Too
It's
far away?
250 kilometers.
Okay, so that
So
is quite a ways.
the biggest town where from the village where I was born is Lille,
Lille.
Lille.
Mm-hmm.
And I say hi to all my friends from Lille because
Lille,
I
that's
know
right.
it's 2 a.m. now in France. So I guess tomorrow I will replay with the YouTube link. But I know my family is watching and my friends, my musicians in France. So hi to everybody.
They should be so proud of you.
Well, maybe, so, especially my mom and maybe my father above.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're selling all of your possessions and moving back, except for you're going to take your instruments back there. But you grew up studying classical music, isn't that correct?
Yes, I did. It was not the official, the National Conservatory in Paris. It was just the academic training local in my village, like
Mm-hmm.
the school, music
Mm-hmm.
school.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and for the clarinet, for the theory, the solfège,
Mm-hmm.
everything, the theory, it was taught in school. But at the keyboard, I'm self-taught. I never took
Mm-hmm.
any course. My
I,
inspiration is just Elton John. Elton John.
Elton John. I bet you have a few French inspirations too, right? You have a few French composers that are your
Yeah.
inspirations.
Like Jean-Michel Jarre. I don't know if he's a pioneer in the electronic music. Back in the
Mm-hmm.
80s, he was the
Okay.
first using synthesizers in electronic music.
Mm-hmm.
He gave a big concert in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Jean-Michel Jarre, yeah.
Mhm.
He is an inspiration. He is a god for me.
Did you ever go to meet him?
Where? Sorry?
Meet him in Cannes, France?
No.
Meet him. The music market for records, the
No.
record music market? No.
No. Where is it held? In which town?
Cannes, France.
Cannes, in the south.
Mhm. Yes.
Um,
I used to go there every year
yes.
for that market. Yeah.
Wow.
Texans had a big
I
booth
know
there.
the festival de Cannes for the movie.
It's it's the same place. It's held at the Festival Palais de Festivals there in Cannes.
Okay.
So it's held in the same place.
I've never been there.
And
You
it's
go
very much.
regularly? Okay.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
got to go around different places in France. So I
But
love France.
the south coast, the French Riviera is
Hmm.
very nice.
And then I got to go I would go to Paris, before or after, going to Cannes. I worked for that company that puts on the conference there. They have a New York sales office that sells stands there. And
Okay.
so I helped the sales rep at the New York sales office meet him in the United States, at other music conferences in the United States. So, but it was a really good experience for me. I really love France, and I've been back a couple of times since then, but I've quit going to meet him.
That's cool.
When,
And then if you go there again, you can go up north and see me in the north of France.
right. You're not, yeah, that's right.
There is a
France is as big as Texas.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big country.
It's much smaller than Quebec. Quebec is
Mhm.
4 times the size of France. Quebec, just Quebec.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
but there's so much of that Quebec that it's cold and we don't go to.
Or there is some empty places where there's no life, just
Mhm.
lakes and wilderness.
Mhm.
But most of the population is on the south
Yeah,
of Quebec.
Quebec City is charming. I've been there. I did a boat ride up from Montreal up the St. Lawrence River and hit Quebec City and um, a
Quebec
few other
City,
places.
Montreal is I think it's 4 hour drive. It's very
Mhm.
long distances in Quebec. Whereas in France, when you are in the north, you want to go skiing, you just drive 8 hours. You are in the mountains, in the Alps.
Yes, I've been there. Yeah, you go down to Lyon and then
Mm-hmm.
um, what is the name of that city near? Um,
There is Montpellier, no?
no, the just before you get to Montpellier from Lyon.
Reims.
Trying to think I can't think of the name of it. I stayed there and then I went up to the Alps after that. It's been too long. I can't remember now. But so I've done a lot of France and I have French ancestry, so I feel like it's part of my home too. But I
Well,
also watch French Chateau Diaries on the YouTube channel on a YouTube channel. So I go to France twice a week
uh,
on YouTube.
good,
So
good.
it's fun. So what have we got up next? I got off on France because you're going back to France, but
Yeah.
we need to hear a little bit more music. And so are you going to do Zénitude?
No, actually, in my plan it is Annie.
Annie, okay.
Yeah, and this one is very emotional because the one of the reasons I'm going back to France is that I'm in a sentimental breakdown at this moment. My ex-boyfriend was born with a twin sister who died at the age of 2 days.
Mm.
Her name is Annie, okay,
Hmm.
and it's like his angel.
Yes.
He was always speaking about Annie like a garden angel,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked me to compose a music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a music track of Annie, and then he put some lyrics, French lyrics, and it describes his state of mind of not having this part of himself still living
Right.
beside him.
Yeah.
So this is it, Annie.
All right.
It starts like a lullaby, okay?
Very sweet. So so that's called Annie, and then the version of it that has the vocal on it is called Petite Annie.
Petite Annie, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
French lyrics.
Mm-hmm. And then the Joel Racine. Now it's that's the singer on the Petite Annie, and he's your friend, or is he the one that is Annie's brother, with twin brother? Yeah, that's sweet. That's a nice story to know. Yes.
Yeah, very spiritual, inspiring, and magnificent.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Well, that's beautiful. So what have we got up next?
Next, we have Zénitude, which is, I don't know if it's an English word, I don't even know if it's a French word. It's a state of mind.
You know, I thought
where
it
you
might
are
have been.
zen.
I
Sorry?
thought it might have been your made-up word. Is it your made-up word? Zénitude?
Well,
I thought it might. To me, it was like an attitude, a Zen attitude.
yes,
And so you
exactly,
took that
got it.
and slammed it together to
Yeah.
make a word, which I love.
Exactly.
I teach songwriting, and I tell my songwriting students, find words that you can slam together like that. Californication is one of those
Yes.
words, you know. So,
That's
you
right.
know, so Zénitude is a word that's slammed together, and I love it. I love
Yes.
that word.
It's
And
an
this
attitude.
is the song that I was talking about before that reminds me of the way you build it up, reminds me of redemption, of how you build it up and then you stop and then you build it up again and get us excited, and then the choral comes in late in, you know, later on in the piece. And
It's really an ambience, an atmosphere with
Mhm.
different parts in this, and it's very long. I don't know. I'm going to do it full because it's over 5 minutes or maybe 6 minutes long. But it's about the elements of nature. You can hear throughout the song. You can hear the air. You can hear the water. You can hear the fire, and you can hear also the earth. Um, and there is a fifth element that I wanted to introduce. I thought that maybe the human being could be the fifth element, like it's questioning whether is it part of the frame of nature? Does the human being deserve to be part of that frame? Or is it just an alien thing that has nothing to do? It just doesn't deserve to belong to that frame.
I think it depends on the human
It depends.
as to whether they think they're part of,
Good answer.
you know.
What they are
nature.
doing, their actions, right?
Hmm. That's right.
So I'm switching the song of my iwi now. The sound. This sound, I chose it to be like a guitar, like a la Pink Floyd. You know,
Extreme guitar,
it's called Xtreme guitar.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
because you put it in your email to me.
Okay, I forgot.
I read it all.
Sorry. So it's kind of a very distorted guitar, like overdriven, something like that, and full of reverb. So it's like you're flying somewhere.
A stack of Marshalls.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me switch my. It's sound number 16. I'm sorry, we are live.
That's all right. You got to make some changes there. While you're doing that, I can talk a little bit about our spotlight and Harry Hewlett, who is our director behind the scenes. And thanks to him, we started this Dallas Songwriters Spotlight, where we each month spotlight a songwriter or composer and just talk about the music and their lives and what's going on. And so thank you so much, Harry, for reviving this. And we really appreciate you. So, did you find your number?
Yes, I did. Okay. So, shall we go?
Okay, here we are. This is Zénitude, Elements of Life.
Can you hear the fire here? I'm going to stop there because it's going to be very long. So
I love it. I
that
love
was
it.
the four elements of nature.
This is a great song when you're soaking in the bathtub. You can listen to this song and put yourself in a pond in the forest.
Yeah, it's
And
immersive.
just,
Huh?
yeah,
Immersive.
and just feel the nature around you and relax. And you have all these candles burning, and yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Grenoble was the town I was trying to remember that we stayed in before we went up to the Alps. And it was the year the Olympics were in France. And so we stayed in Grenoble. Have you ever been to Grenoble? It's such a beautiful little town.
No,
No,
no, I don't
you,
know. No.
you when you go back to France now, you can go around and see a lot of France
Yeah.
because it's like Texas. You know, there's a lot of Texas that a lot of Texans haven't seen because it's there. You know,
But
go
you know
out
what?
to West Texas and you're a long day's drive or 2 days drive. Really, it's a
Yeah.
long way.
But you know, when you are living in the country, and I noticed that also with Quebec people living here, um, a tourist coming in Quebec sees much more things that a Quebecois can see in his entire life. And the same thing happens to me. I was living in France. I was not visiting my country.
Mm-hmm.
No. And Quebec people knew France better than I was.
Because they'd been over there and visited it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's crazy. I'm living in a nice country in France, and I don't know my country.
I know. I go see my friend in New York, and I'm always when I go to New York, I want to go to the shows and all of this stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah,
out doing all this tourist stuff. And he doesn't go to shows. He goes to music shows, but he doesn't go to Broadway or
yeah.
whatever. So I mean, you just gotta if you're not careful, you will miss a lot
That's
just by
right.
being complacent
Mhm.
and being comfortable at home. You know. So yes, so you're going to be going to South America here. You're going to go to Argentina, right? Are you
I
going to
am.
Argentina?
Uh,
It's Are
okay,
you
how could
closing
you
your
know that?
because you told me. Did you for we we've talked through email, you know.
Yeah.
Um so are you going to do that after you sell your house, or you're going to go and then your house is still going to be for sale and then you're going to come back and wrap everything up? Is that what's going on?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to Argentina. Actually, it's Rosario. It's very
Mhm.
close to Buenos Aires.
Oh, okay.
March 3rd, my flight, and coming back on March 18th.
Mm.
And
That's
hopefully, I will have a few offers to purchase my house by then.
yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going to Argentina more like a spiritual retreat, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know a friend over there. It's a bit like Broad Jam. I met him a site like we could call it Paint Jam. It's about artists, but they are painting, they are drawing.
Hmm.
And my second hobby, my second passion in life, besides music, is charcoal drawing,
But it
portrait.
was your first passion at one point. Before you got interested in
Yes,
music, you were
yes.
drawing.
I was
It's
drawing like sketches, esquisse
hmm
of a female profile. Always the same, a
hmm
female profile with their hair in a certain position. You know,
hmm
uh, it's curious.
and then
I
you
don't know.
got away and was into music, and then now you're going to come back and you're going to do some drawing again, huh?
I
Mm-hmm.
continue drawing some portrait because when I was in France, I didn't have any music gear. So because of the jet lag, I was not sleeping very well. And at 3 a.m. I was up in the kitchen alone. What am
Mm-hmm.
I doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I started to do some portrait, a lot. I'm talking about this December,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. When you're just
So
there.
co-workers, friends, and one day I said, "Oh, I never drew myself like an auto portrait."
Okay. So but
But
all the great artists do. So you've got to do a self
I
portrait,
did,
you know.
I did it, but Barbara, it was the best I have ever done.
Oh, wow. Good.
I still can't believe it how it looks like me.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm watching myself in the mirror, and I said to myself, "What? That's a good thing to take care of yourself, Thierry. You have never taken care of yourself, so it's time to do it." So I did it, and I framed it, and I posted it on Facebook. And my friend that I knew on this site with painting artists, he called me to congratulate. And
Oh.
it was, I remember it was New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking some details about my private life. And of course, I told him that I split with my ex-boyfriend. And then I started to cry, and we exchanged some personal details. And then he said, "Come to Argentina, we'll do an art therapy together. We'll paint and we'll do music, and it will be good." So we are going to see the Iguazu Falls at the border of Brazil.
Oh, okay. So I don't know anything about Argentina.
No?
No, nothing. I've never been
Really?
there, but 2 weeks will be wonderful there. You'll get to
Yeah,
see a lot
I
of
think
stuff.
it'll be a nice trip.
Uh-huh.
Like, have you ever seen the movie Eat, Pray, and Love?
Yes, I have. Uh-huh. That's a great movie.
One of my favorite movies
It
ever.
is. Uh-huh.
So I said to myself, eat in Quebec, pray in Argentina, and love in France. So that's my-
There you go. You can't get any better than that, does it? That's good. So have you quit your tech job?
No, what makes me live, I'm not quitting at all. I'm working remote since the pandemic. I'm working remote from home, Quebec.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And when I was in France, I was still working remote for the same employer in Montreal.
Mhm.
Let me talk about this employer a little bit. Do you have
Yes.
time?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So I am lucky enough uh, to have been working for 26 years since I immigrated in 96 for the same men's clothing manufacturer in Montreal. We are the biggest men's clothing manufacturer in North America.
Wow.
Point. Yeah, we are selling to Macy's, all the department stores, Macy's,
Wow.
wherever they are.
Yes.
Macy's is our biggest customer. We are selling Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, like high-end brands,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
as well as more private labels. And I'm working in the information technology department. I'm supporting the business to respond to their needs by configuring the system and reporting some production data, on pie charts. And I do also a lot of EDI, electronic data interchange,
Yes.
between us and the suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
and customers.
So are you a wholesaler? Would you
what?
call the company a wholesaler?
It's a manufacturer.
Okay, so they
We
are
are
manufacturing.
producing
Okay, these brands. Gotcha.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
producing
So
suit. We have the
you-
license to produce those brands.
You're manufacturing in Vermont?
Montreal.
Montreal. Okay.
In Vermont, it's our main warehouse.
Oh, gotcha. For the U.S.
In Saint-Alban.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, I would say 80% of our production, of our stock is now produced
Mm-hmm.
from China. Like, the economy,
Yes.
it costs much less to get it produced.
Yeah, but boy, when those containers get stuck, then everybody's hurting.
I know, logistic problem everywhere. Even my a keyboard that I ordered in France was delayed. It was a Casio.
Oh, yeah.
And they never seen that before. It was stuck at the border, and anything was providing to the Casio retail store in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
They
A lot of
didn't see that.
A lot of people that ordered things online that Christmas, they didn't come that Christmas.
No.
It was pretty
Oh,
bad.
by the way, the keyboard has arrived in Vermont
Today, it did. It got there today, didn't it?
today.
Yeah.
Today.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad.
So I owe you a picture of this keyboard.
Yeah, when you get a chance, get a picture of it before. Or you know what? You probably don't want to unpack it since if you're taking it to France.
Or
Go to a music store and get a picture there of at a music
really?
store. Huh.
No, I'm going to unpack it and try it. I can't
Okay.
wait.
Or you want to try it out? Okay. I just didn't want to make any extra. I mean, I know what moving is like, so
Okay.
that's tough. So yeah, we'll put that
Yes.
picture
Yeah.
up on our website and in our newsletter. So your beautiful mug. Maybe we ought to put that. Yeah, I'm going to check your Facebook out for your self portrait.
Okay. Okay.
So tell me a little bit about this lawyer from Texas. Where in Texas is he from?
The lawyer in Texas.
Yeah, PJ
Okay.
Putnam,
It,
or no, that's not. Is Peter Olick? Who's the lawyer? Is it Peter Olick or PJ Putnam?
PJ Putnam.
Okay, and
Yeah.
where in Texas does he live?
Uh,
Houston,
it's Dallas.
Dallas. Oh, okay, he's from Dallas.
Yeah.
So
And
what's
it's a very good introduction to the next song, actually,
right?
Barbara.
So this you're going to give us a little excerpt of. Tell me about this project because you just gave me a little bit of information about this, and I'm just dying to figure out what's going on here. So you've got some music and a video, and tell us about this video. Is called Elise or something like that.
Well,
Tell us about it.
Elise is the name. You're
Okay.
right,
Mhm.
but it's not a video. It's Elise was born with a joint venture with Peter Olak. He's living in North Carolina, and I met Peter on Board Jam.
Mhm.
Okay, he's a
Okay.
writer,
Mhm.
a songwriter. He sings, he plays the guitar, and his passion is writing. Writing. He's a specialist of words, and he was interested in my music. So he sent me a couple of songs, and I did some arrangements for him. And at the beginning of the pandemic, um, we met again and remote, of course. And we never met physically, just always remote. He asked me, "Do you want to try to get on board with me with a story, Elise? It's partly based on personal facts,
Mhm.
that he lived himself,
Mhm.
and the rest could be fictional, could be a fiction." I said, "Why not?" So I merged with him in this story of Elise. She is a ballerina, okay, and she's disappointed. She's disappointed because there is a lot of harassment and competition. She is very talented, so the prima ballerina sees her as not very good, So they're fighting. So she's discouraged, and her parents ask Michael, which is Peter actually in the story, to convince Elise to continue the ballet. So they fall in love together, Michael and Elise.
Mhm.
And in the story, I can't tell much because of the copyrights, but
Right. Mhm.
just as a teaser, it's like a Romeo and Juliet
Mhm.
merged into a contemporary version that looks like 50 Shades of Grey for the
Oh.
sensuality, erotism,
Mhm.
and also like a travel, because through the story you go through 2 continents and 3 countries, United States, United Kingdom, and
Mhm.
France.
Yeah.
And I can't talk any more of this, but it's a fabulous story. It's 70 chapters. There's 70 handmade illustrations, digitally done by me,
Mhm.
with Photoshop and
Mhm.
illustrating each chapter basically. And now our lawyer, because we are copyrighted at the Library of Congress
Mhm.
under the company name is a C Corp called OJ, OGPH, G and J. The Other
OG
Guys Production House.
OGPH. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
OGPH
Yeah.
Inc. So Peter, the writer, is the CEO. I am the president, and PJ Putnam is our lawyer in
Okay.
Texas.
Okay. So it's a book,
It's going to be
but but there is music that
and
goes with the book, and you've got the book and the pictures, and then there's
yes,
music that goes with it. So how long is the musical piece? Because you're just going to play us a little piece
Oh my
of it.
God, you have to read the book to realize how long it is. We
Okay.
want to make several chapters of an audio book. We want an e-book as well for iPads, and you can read. And we want also to be a cinematographic production. So we are trying to find a good publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is volume 2 and volume 3 in preparation.
Okay. So the music is scattered throughout the book with
Yes.
the pictures.
Yes.
So it's in little fragments. It's not all the way through, but it's in
Well,
little fragments.
you know, an audiobook how it works. You have chapter by chapter, and sometimes the narrator stops, and there are some music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
There is a off voice. We call that an off voice.
Okay.
Kind of things like that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to be very interesting and unique also, because I don't think we have ever seen that in the multimedia industry so far.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds
Yeah.
like a great idea.
I
So-
spent 1,800 hours on this project alone, and Peter did probably the same in parallel. I don't count the meeting hours. It's huge.
I've written a couple of musicals. So in the last musical I did had 21 numbers to it. So I mean that's a lot of hours too, but I think you've got me beat there with this book.
You know.
Oh my. So we're going to hear a little bit. This is going to be our closing number, a little segment from
Yeah.
this Passport for
For the
Sanctuary.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to tell you the story of this passport, because it was not composed for Elise.
Mm-hmm.
While I was in France, winning my first salary, I bought my first music gear. It was at this time Yamaha DX7 2, the version 2.
I
And also-
love that. I loved Yamaha. I had one. I had
Yeah?
one of those.
You
I
still
love
have
it.
one?
I don't know because it was stolen from me, but I loved it. I had loved all the sounds and everything.
It was stolen from me also.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I moved here, the movers exactly saw where I was putting my gear, which room, and the week after, all stolen.
Mm-hmm. We had same thing here. We had 2 keyboards and a saxophone, 2 saxophones, a flute, a guitar, all taken, from a van that we had parked in the back, and they broke into it and took all that stuff out, and our PA, so
That's a shame, because it's a vintage thing.
I
It
love
has a
DX7. I love all the
sentimental value.
sounds. What a great keyboard, really. I love
Yes,
it.
yeah, really.
It's just so good.
And sorry. And besides this, I got this big rack, a sampler, Akai, with floppy disks inside,
Yeah.
and it takes 1 minute to load each.
To load up. I know back then it was, state of the art, but now 1 minute to load up, we're
Yes.
twiddling our thumbs,
Yes. Yes. And one of those floppy disks, it was written Loon, Loon. I didn't know what it was, but the sound, it was so amazing, like inspiring an exotic place somewhere on the earth or somewhere else in the universe. I don't know. It was like a little
So
monkey crying
it's
in the
a
jungle.
loon is a bird.
Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. So
I
that's
didn't know
that loon sound. Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
love
that.
that sound.
So it inspired me, Passport for the Sanctuary, because it was composed at the same time I was preparing my immigration process. And when I was at the Quebec embassy in Paris, I was in the waiting room, sitting and watching at the walls some frames of wilderness, nature, flowers. And one of them was very intriguing. It was a duck
Yeah.
with, I can show you. I have here. Look like this.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It was in a frame, and I got closer to the frame, and it was written canard commun, entre parenthèses, huard, and then the translation in English, loon. And Barbara, my heart skipped a few bits.
Mm-hmm.
Because I understood at that time that the loon cry was calling me from France to come to Quebec. Because this is typically a Canadian.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. You have some and
They only when they come through. You know, they migrate.
lakes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only in the fall when they're no, it's spring when they're headed back. It's spring and fall when they're headed down, and then they come back. Yeah.
And usually there is one couple per lake, not more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there is a fight story between them. But you understand the story. The loon cry was calling me without me knowing about it, but I felt being called by Quebec to immigrate, and this is my sanctuary, Quebec, passport for the sanctuary.
And so that was 23 years ago
Yeah.
that you came to Quebec.
96.
Are you a Canadian citizen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're dual citizen because you can still be French and Canadian, correct?
I have
Cool.
to renew my passport once in a while, but that's worth it because it's a real advantage.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It certainly is.
So let me select a background track of passport and we get it started. It's not the real track that is being used in Elise because I have 5 different versions of this passport for the sanctuary. One classical with the cello, one with the piano, one is more the spa ambience.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like the exotic version.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. We like exotic.
So let me select my sound again. Number 1, the oboe. How do you say oboe? Oboe? Oboe?
Oboe.
Oboe.
We don't do the E on the end.
No, you don't?
Mm-mm.
It sounds good. Let's go. I'm doing only the first 2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
The introduction is a bit long. Stop there. So you have an idea of the main theme of Elise.
All right. That was Passport for the Sanctuary,
Passport
everyone.
for the Sanctuary.
Yes.
Yes.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
I wanted to hear more, but we're out of time. I can't believe it. You know, we wondered if we were going to have enough songs for an hour, and we've been going for over an hour and 10 minutes. How about that?
Wow,
So,
wow.
yeah,
I
for
didn't
those of you who are watching,
think
you
so
have been,
fast.
yeah, you've been watching Thierry Coupey, who's our grand prize winner for the Dallas Songwriters Association Song Contest. And he has been appearing on our Dallas Songwriters Association Songwriter Spotlight. And I'm going to hand it back over to Bill Martin, and who is our showcase director. And Harry, I hope you will show your face here for a minute. And who's our producer and director? There he is, Mr. Harry Hewlett. Thank you all. Thank you, Terry, for being with us, and Bill and Harry. And what do you want to say to sign us out, Bill?
Oh, thank you. Thierry, that was great.
Oh, thank you so much.
That is big movie soundtrack. It is. I really liked it. As a guitarist who does not know anything about woodwinds, how hard would it be for, say, for example, me to learn how to play that instrument?
This
Is it?
that the fingering is like a saxophone, and well, this is pretty easy because you cannot make quack like you cannot. You know the a quack is a when it's
I,
whistling. You
I
know,
don't know, Thierry.
no,
I
you
took
just blow and that's it. So it is very easy for the embouchure.
I took
For the
woodwinds in college,
yeah,
and I could get a sound out of the saxophone. The clarinet was a little harder, and then the rest of the flute and all that stuff, forget it.
well,
So
it's
it's not easy.
no, it's not easy at
It
all.
looks easy, but it's not
It's
easy.
not. No, it's
Well,
not.
I
it's a great
just want to
instrument,
say that.
and being able to put in those different sounds is
Yeah,
quite unusual.
there are 200 different sounds, you know, for very high quality. Yeah.
Well,
So how long it is to learn that instrument? It's hard to say. Do you know the flute?
when you said it, it was kind of like a sax. I knew immediately this was way beyond my range.
Yeah, like
I
a
mean, I'm going to stick to
B.
trying to be fair at guitar, I think, but I really like the way you play.
The main
Email
thing
me. I
is
will send you some information privately if you want, like hints and tips, and it will be a pleasure.
you have to develop your embouchure,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's
yeah,
like anything else, you have
yeah,
to get those muscles around your mouth happening for you,
yes.
and that takes a while to do that.
It does, yeah. And it hurts when you're not used to this. The pressure of the lips on the teeth is very hard. I
Mhm.
still feel it, Len. Yeah.
Well, okay. So you're going to sign us off, Bill?
Thank you, everybody. I hope and there are those of you who are listening even as we speak, and I hope there will be legions of people listening after we are played back later on. On behalf of the DSA, thank you all very much.
Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to subscribe. That's right. And to all a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.